Welcome back to Flosstube, I think 48, I'm not sure. My name is Jade, I'm the 310 Stitcher here on Flosstube as well as Instagram and Facebook. I am in a different location today. As you can see, I'm at the cottage, or if you're outside of Ontario, I'm at the cabin. So you can see the forest and little island there and the lake. It's beautiful. So I am here for the weekend. I'm actually going to be working from here tomorrow, and then we'll be here for the whole weekend. My family doesn't arrive until late tomorrow night. So I thought I would take advantage of the time to do a video. So hopefully you're in the right place. This video is, or this YouTube channel is where I share my love of cross stitching and sometimes other crafts too, especially knitting and crocheting. Although I do have a different craft to show you today. But anyway, hopefully you're in the right place. If this is the first time you're visiting me, then welcome. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you find something that you enjoy watching, and that you stay and come back. Hit the little like and subscribe buttons and the little notification bell so you know when I release new videos. Generally, I release videos every 10 to 14 days. It's only been 9 days since my last video, and less than that actually since my last video was actually posted, because for some reason it took forever. Anyway, I'm here with about a week and a half worth of progress. I'm not sure next week whether I'm going to be able to film or not. So my schedule from here until the end of summer is getting, let's say, chaotic. That's probably the best way to put it. So it won't, my videos likely won't be exactly every 2 weeks, but I hope that's okay. Okay, so what's on the agenda today? Today on the agenda, we have a new start. We have several whips. How many whips do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 whips. A different craft. And then also 2 knitting whips that I'll show at the very end. And then we've got some plans. And yeah, I do have some retreat news, but I think what I'll do is I'll put out another little video that kind of summarizes everything for people. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to do that this weekend as well. All right, let's start. So if you've been here before, then you know that every video since last year, probably early last year, I started this, where every video I spin my wheel on my phone that has all my category A new starts that I would like to start. And then I pick a new start, and then I will start it during that 2 week and a half, 2 week period until my next video. So the last video we picked Witch Sister Sal, which I have not started yet. It's been a week, lots of stuff going on. I'll get into some life stuff at the very end for those who are not interested, but it's been a week. Let's just put it that way. So I've not started it yet. I have it all kitted. Everything is, ready to go. I just haven't had the time or brain space to be able to do that. So I've not started that. My other new start is a different craft. So let me show you that at the end. Okay, so let's get into my whips. All right. I'm going to start by showing you one that you've not seen for quite a while. And I should have brought up the picture of it, so bear with me for 1 sec. So the first one I want to show you, like I said, is one that I haven't shown you in months. This is Royal Games 2 by Mirabilia. And so you'll see, let me just flip that. Oh. was trying to get the Queen of Clubs up on the top because I have completed the Queen of Clubs, so that you did see that, and I had started on the Queen of Diamonds, working from the middle upwards. So I'll show you that. So I don't know how many stitches I did because I don't count. This is not in Market Bark's piece, so it's a paper pattern. So I don't count the stitches. So I have no idea. But let me show you the whole thing first. I should have grabbed some paper or something to put behind this. Maybe we'll try this because I have a feeling, yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's where the whole thing is. So you can see that the Queen of Clubs is complete with the exception of the beads. I'm going to do those all at the very end. I think she looks fantastic. Okay, and then let me flip this around. Okay, there we go. Okay, and there is the Queen of Diamonds that's been started. So this is her bodice that I had done already. I had done some of this as well. Primarily I worked, so this was done. Primarily I worked in here. So I had an error the last time. I don't know if this happens to you guys. Do you guys like going like gangbusters, right? Going perfect, everything's going great, just working away. Like I think I did all of the Queen of Clubs in a weekend, actually up here last summer, or maybe the summer before now, I don't remember. But anyways, it was going great until I made a mistake in here, and then I couldn't figure out where it was. Anyways, and then it just stopped, right? Because I just needed to be in the right headspace to be able to try to figure this out, because I just could not find out where my mistake was. And on this, I don't know, like, you know, on full coverage, you can kind of fudge it a little bit more, I feel. Whereas on something like this, I didn't really want to fudge it. I want it to be correct. So I finally got around to it last week. So I talked about, in my last video, I talked about spending a day last weekend doing some reorganizing, cleaning up of my craft room, and going through all my projects, taking them out of Q-snaps and whatnot. And I came across this, and I'm like, you know what? I really got to figure this out. I just have to do it. So I pulled it out, and I did it. I figured it out. So there's still a little bit of stitching left in there, you can see, but I did quite a bit. I must have done a couple hundred stitches in there easily. So this is going to be the project that I'm going to work on this weekend here at the cottage. And I hope to get good progress on her, because I really would like to have her finished. She really should have been finished last year. But anyways, I'm doing this on, actually I kept the paper. So I'm doing this on Permin linen, colorway white on 28 count. All right. Okay. And the other thing I did last week was also sew the edges down. Okay, so that was the first one. So I'm really excited about that one. That one is going to stay out because, like I said, that's going to be my focus. Okay, so that was that one. Now, I have my list down here on the table just so I can give you stats and whatnot, and I don't have my whips in that order, so it might take me a little bit to figure that out. Anyway, let's go to Dragons of the Sabbat. So I will, well, okay, let me just pull it up. So I'll show you what that's going to look like. This is artwork by Ann Stokes, and it was charted by Pain Free Crafts. It is going to look like that eventually one day. It's no longer available from Pain Free Crafts. It is available from Heaven and Earth Designs. They have two versions of it. One that looks like this, but it's actually a third smaller. So this version is 604,000 stitches, so it's massive. The one on Haid is somewhere around 400, so yeah, so a third less. And the other version is the same, except that it has the sabots, the names of the sabots around the outside as well. So if you're curious, go check it out. So this one, I completed all of the black in the entire piece by last November. I think late November, maybe early December. I completed the black in the whole piece, and my goal for this year is to finish that one blue dragon. Is that gonna focus? Okay, close enough. So that's my goal. I think, you know, dividing the number of stitches that are left by how many dragons there are, I think it's about 45,000 stitches. I don't think that's accurate because there's also, you know, that, I don't know if it's blue or purple or whatever, but all these sigils and stuff as well. So it's maybe a little less than 45,000. But since you saw this last, I put in 2,307 stitches. And let me see here. There you go. If I stand behind it, you can see it. It's coming out so good. So good. I'm really excited about this. It's all different blues. And you can kind of see his head coming in here, which is cool. So yeah, so that's exciting. Let me see. I don't think I can back up the whole way to show you, but I'll maybe do it this way. Okay, hopefully you saw that. All right, so this project is being done on 22 count even weave. The black I did 3/1 half cross, and the dragons I'm doing 2/1 half cross. I've explained this before, but I just found that with the with this fabric, because I don't have the same issue on a different 22 count fabric, but with this particular fabric, with the 2/1 half cross with the black, too much white was showing through, and so I kind of wish that I had dyed this a darker color so it wouldn't have been as obvious. I could have used 2 strands instead of 3 and saved some floss, but that's okay. It ate up the floss like nothing else. Anyway, so that is that. I am at, I'm sorry, I think I told you the wrong number. Since the last time you saw this, I put in 1,264 stitches, and I'm at 43.4% of the whole piece, which is fantastic. So there are 261,965 stitches in this complete out of the 604,000. So it's really exciting. I'm approaching that 50% goal. I mean, it's still a lot to get to 50%, but I think this is the highest number of stitches. I think it is the highest number of stitches that I have in any one piece. So I'm excited about that. Okay, next, let's go to mark off dragons. Next, we're going to go to Jelly World. So this is a Heaven and Earth design. It is for the 2025 Hade stitch along. So Hade is Heaven and Earth Designs. So they have a stitch along for this year, so you're not able to get this anymore unless you're part of the stitch along. But that is what it's going to look like. It is beautiful. So I think there's about 90,000, just a little over 90,000 stitches in this whole thing. They released it in phases, so 3 pages per installment. So the first 3 pages that we got, I'm still working on the first 3 pages, even though we have 2 installments to date. But the first installment is just over 30,000 stitches, 30,167, and I'm 37% of the way through. So I still have a lot to go. And let me get my fabric here. There we go. It's looking great. It is looking so fantastic. Oh. Okay, so the only reason all of these are there, and they're not tangled, don't worry. But the only reason those are there is because I was working within the Q-snap area. So I had 3 pages. The first installment was 4 pages. So there is another page here from that first installment. Yeah, so I want to finish this the first installment first, and then come back. I'll load the second installment into Markup RXP, and then work on that. Okay, this is being done on 25 count even weave 2/1 half press. Okay, did I tell you how many I did? I feel like I did not. Since last time you saw it, I did 1,478 stitches. Like I said, I did tell you I'm 37% of the way through part 1. In order to get, so my goal for Jolly World is to get 50% of it done before the end of the year. So if you do 50% or 6 whole pages, because there are partial pages, if you do 6 whole pages, then you get all the other 10 or 11 patterns that had been offered for the sale, and so, or for the stitch along. So that's what my goal is. So we'll see. In order to do that, I have to do something like around 900 stitches a week. So far so good. Okay, next is another focus piece. This one is the Colosseum. Oops. Let me show you what that's going to look like. Here we go. Colosseum. Okay, it's going to look like that. Since the last time you saw this, I put in 1,087 stitches. So not a lot. I only did 1 week of it. So I'm at 28.6%, or just under 44,000 stitches out of the 153,000. Okay, so that is what I have done to date. I have been stuck in this section of all the blue for, I feel like, months. It was a long time. And I don't know if you can't really see it in this light, but so this this is the outline. So see those two things jutting out? That's that. And then in behind here, you can kind of see the inside face of the far end of the Colosseum. That's what all this is. So there is, I know it's hard to see that there is stitching all in here as well. So when I put this back in, well, you can kind of see it there. When I put this back in the, oh yeah, it goes all the way to down here. So I'm almost at the, I almost hit the bottom actually. Anyway, when I put this back in the Q-snap, I don't know if I'm going to go back to working on these really light colors. I feel like I want to go back to doing some building. So I might put my Q-snap in like in this section here so I can do maybe a strand of the light yellow and or white and, you know, some darker colors, because I was getting really bored of just whites and light blues. And anyway, so this is being done on 22 count even weave, which I tea-dyed it myself. I tea-dyed it so that when I didn't know, you know, this was one of my first full coverage projects. And so I didn't know whether when you frame it, you framed it right up to the page or do you leave some fabric showing, and I didn't want it to be stark white. So that's why I tea-dyed it. And it was helpful, even though it's hard to see on camera, but it was very helpful to have a darker background when I was doing all this white and off-white colors. Anyway, the sea of light colors is finally done. Okay, so I think I told you I did 1,087 stitches and I'm at 28.6%. My goal for that one for this year is to get it to 30%. So we'll see. We'll talk about plans later. Okay. The project that I don't have to show you here, actually, because it's too big. It wouldn't fit in my bag. Because it's in a scroll frame, is the Veil of Death. And let me just show you a picture of what that's going to look like. No, I don't want the zip file. This is artwork by Chris Ortega. It is also a Haid. That's what it's going to look like eventually. And I've been working all across the top to, I don't know, this crown of thorns, knives. I don't know what they are. Swords. So I'm excited because I'm almost at her hair, which will be awesome. And I have a picture to show you of what it's looking like now. Come on. So since the last time you saw this, I put in, obviously I was sitting at my desk here. I put in a lot of this black and dark brown all in this corner. And since you last saw it, I put in 2,510 stitches. So I'm now at 12.34%, or 48,235 out of the 390,825. So quite a bit. It's getting there. My goal for this year on that one is to get to 25%. So I still have another, 45,000 45 or 50,000 stitches to put in this year. Am I going to get there? I don't know, but I'm going to try. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this, this stitch. It is a lot of bulk stitching. It's not focusing. I hate that. Anyway, it's a lot of bulk stitching. So you can just pick, you know, like those 2,500 stitches are all in here in the dark, in the black. That's all I did, was I just used black and just did a bunch of stitching. So that's fun. Okay, so another focus piece is also my another words. It's also my temperature piece. And temperature stitching piece. So this is Sunset in Venice. It's also a Hade. I don't know why my camera's not focusing. It's really frustrating. Anyways, that's what it's gonna look like. This image does not do it justice. Let me see if I can make it bigger. It does not do it justice. The artwork is by Dominic Davidson. And it's a Hade. Also, I didn't tell you about the Colosseum. I always forget. So the artist, I have no idea. It was written somewhere on the PDF pattern, which I can't even find anymore. It's a very, very old picture. It's at least 100 years old, pretty sure. But the pattern was from Cross Stitch Collectibles, just in case you were wondering. Okay, back to Sunset in Venice. So Sunset in Venice, I've been using for my temperature stitching, like I said. So basically what I do is on Sundays, I look at the expected temperatures for the week, and for each day for the week. I go from Sunday to Saturday, and whatever the temperatures are, I multiply them times 100 if they're in the double digits, which they have been. So usually I have to do anywhere between 900 and 1,500 stitches. So it really varies. I have a deadline for this, which I don't remember what it is, but anyways, my goal is to do around 1,100 stitches a week. Since you saw this, I put in 2,307 stitches, and I'm at 37.0%. I have 111,649 stitches out of the 301,600. And this is where we are. Let me bring it in closer. So that's the far right. It's beautiful. Again, this camera is not doing it any justice because those flowers are amazing. The buildings, the sky, the birds. Sorry, there's a thread there. And then, like, you can see the amount of detail is incredible. So you can see the balconies, or so they're kind of sunrooms with all the flowers. The flowers are incredible. The detail is incredible. Honestly, if you look at this in person, it's amazing. Like, it's breathtaking. And I reached the bottom. This is the bottom of the piece. So I have quite a bit more fabric at the bottom than I do at the top. Same thing on the right. But so this is that pole, striped pole. This is one of the gondolas. This is the seat back in one of the gondolas. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this. I'm so close, by the way, for the past month or so. I have been working, so I just had this area in a Q-snap. I was doing it 12 by 8.5. So I had this whole area in the Q-snap from like here all the way down. From about here all the way down. And I had a million confetti stitches in here. So I've been working really hard at getting all of that complete. This is 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Haid pages. So that's a lot of stitching. I think they're about 7,000 stitches a page. So it's a lot. And then plus everything down there. So my goal is to finish all of this. And then I'm probably going to come here and work my way. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to work my way across or work my way down because I would like to get to some of the water. I don't know. We'll see. You'll find out at the same time as I do. So this project I'm doing 1/1 full cross on 25 count even weave. I wish I could remember where I bought this even weave because I would buy more. I really, really, really like it. It's soft. It's, I don't know. It's great. It's great to stitch on. Okay. Now, okay. So that, let me just mark it down. Okay, so the next is the Pompeian Lady. Where did my phone go? There it is. Okay, let me show you a picture of what that's going to look like. I don't want the zip. Okay, so this is artwork by John Godward, and it is also a Haid. It is a mini. So that's what she's going to look like when she's done. So she's not very big. I think she's a total of 105,000, almost 106,000 stitches. So not huge in comparison to, say, Dragons of the Sabbat. And I'm doing this also on 25 count even weave. Let me unroll this. And there she is. So that's the fabric behind. Excuse me. So there she is. So that's the entire width of the piece. Excuse me. Hopefully I cut that coughing out. That's the entire width of the piece. I can see this is the wall behind her. This is the curtain and that's her hand holding the curtain to the side. So I have been working, I basically, this week, because I didn't have a ton of time, I basically, on all my pieces, basically just picked one color and went to town, with the exception of Sunset in Venice, because I was working on all the confetti. But for everything else, I just tried to get the most number of stitches in I could, and the black was a lot of bulk stitching, so that's pretty much what I did. So you can see her eyes coming in, her face is coming in a little bit more. This background is coming in, her neck, the start of her dress, and yeah. So I can't wait to get that one working a little bit more. I think I told you I put in 1,874 stitches in this since the last time you saw it. So this is at 16.6% or 17,547 stitches. Okay, so that is Pompeian Lady. Oh, that's going to be in plans. Okay. The next piece is from, oh, I'm going to get this wrong. Sunflower Stitches. Okay, this piece is by Louise Clark from Sunflower Stitches. and it is called Pricks Everywhere. I really like this. She has a whole series, and Stitches So Beautiful has a series of these too, so I'm slowly collecting them because it would be fun to just have these all up on one wall, like maybe our wall going down to the basement. I don't know. Anyways, so far it's been pretty boring stitching, not gonna lie, because I've been working on the border, and let me see if I angle that, you can see the white, the border in white. That's pretty much all I've gotten done. I put in the past week and a half, I put in 703 stitches, and the 703 stitches were all in white, all in 3865 white. So this is at 2.3%, and I'm at 2,101 stitches out of the 89,660 of this whole thing. I can't wait to get past the white to get to some of those bright colors, because it's the bright colors that I really like. Okay, the next two pieces I'm gonna show just because I know not everybody watches Monopoly, and so if you don't watch Monopoly, then you will miss some of my whips. So I'm just gonna show them briefly here. They will get shown again in my Monopoly video, which will be at the end. You can just skip that part. Okay, so I had two pieces to do. One is called Sun, Moon, and Stars. Okay, found the picture. So this is Sun, Moon, and Stars by the Cross Stitch Studio, like I said. I started up in the top left-hand corner, so as you might imagine, just a whole lot of blue. 939, and I put in 556 stitches. This is at 0.4%. So there are 390,625 stitches. I'm only at 14. This is what 1,423 stitches looks like. So this is being done on 25 count even weave from China. Okay. And the other one, which was also from the other one is also from Monopoly. The other one is also from Monopoly, and this is called Roy Kent. The chart where I got this is no longer has it, but there it is, Roy Kent. This will only make sense to you if you have watched Ted Lasso, which I highly recommend. It's great. Okay, so for Monopoly, I had to do, I don't remember, 200 stitches or something. No, I had to do 130 stitches. And I did 1,104 stitches. So that's what I did. So I filled in a ton of this orange and then all of this yellow that's in here. This is kind of boring because it's just fill in, right, with one single color. Anyways, this will come into my plans in a second. This one I want to show in plans, so I'm not going to show that. Oh no, this one. Okay, so this one is from Stitches So Beautiful, and like I said, it's a companion piece to the Pricks Everywhere from Sunflower Stitches, and it is called Salty Bitch. Sorry, the salty bitch. Okay. And that is what she will look like one day when she's done. So, I didn't do a whole lot. I did like less than 100 stitches just down here somewhere. That's it. Again, all in white. I don't know. I think it was 712. But anyway, so that's being done on 25 count even weave, also from China. And let's get to plans. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to show you just really fast my 2 knitting whips. Okay. So the first one is a pair of socks. Here's the yarn. It's by Lana Grossa, and it's called Aloha, the colorway. So you can see it's kind of stripy. I started these from the toe up. The last time you saw these, I had just done the toe, and I have been working my way up. So not a lot done there. Okay, so that's one. And my other, okay, and my other one is the sweater. I call it a sweater. It's a cardigan. So it's one picture. This is what the back looks like. The pattern is from Juniper Moon. This is a paper pattern, but I'm sure it's available by PDF as well. It's called the Colleen Cardigan by Juniper Moon Farms. I did not use Juniper Moon Farms wool because it was really pricey, too pricey for me. And I showed you the last time I'd completed the back, I'd completed each of the front panels. Now I'm working on the sleeves. So I had to do this twice. So I had a little bit more than this completed, but I messed up. And so pardon this, I'm using this to count the rows for the cables. And so I ripped up the whole thing and started again. So there's the cable that goes up in the middle. So this will get sewn, right? Sewn together. And so that cable will go on the outside. So that's that. This yarn, what is this yarn? I have it here. This yarn, in case you're curious, is Katia Melody. It's jacquard, so it does change. I'm going to get into some of that actual more spotty look. So we'll see. I'm really hoping that once the whole sweater is put together, that it kind of all ties together. If not, it won't get worn. Okay, so that's it for the whips. I had a lot. So even though I haven't had a ton of time, I still have managed to get, quite a bit, and managed to touch quite a few projects. You'll notice I don't have Home Sweet Home. Today I did not get to work on that project, and nor did I bring it with me. I think I meant to, but I was going to just so I could show it in its entirety, because I also took it out of its frame. But then I didn't, because I want to get some work done on my other things. So let's talk about plans. Okay. So plans. this weekend. So this weekend, first of all, I want to continue working. Let me just reach over. I want to continue working on the Mirabilia. I would like to get as much done as I can this weekend, which will be great. I'm really like, once I got going on this the first time, I just remember I just loved it. I just loved stitching on it. But the thing that sucks is that it's a paper pattern. And oh, let me ask you guys, because I'm making these assumptions, and I'm really hoping, you know what they say about assumptions, I'm really hoping that that's not gonna happen. But for those of you, this is my first Mirabilia, I should say. So I'm hoping that I'm doing this correctly. So the pattern comes in, it's paper, and it comes in like two different sections. So kind of like this. Let me just show it back here. There's no way you're going to be able to stitch this. So kind of like this, right? So you have Queen of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds. So here's my question. I assumed the Queen of Clubs was up, or whichever one, like however the picture shows. I don't remember right now whether the Queen of Diamonds is at the top or whether the Queen of Clubs is at the top. Doesn't matter. But say it was the Queen of Clubs. I assumed that this was the right side up for the symbols. And so I've been using this. So there are slashes, forward slashes, and back slashes. And there are Ds and there are Ps. And I think there's one more symbol that is reversible. So I was assuming this is right side up. So that's how I was reading the symbols. Then when I got to the second one, I assume that I have to turn this also right side up and read the symbols right side up. Is that correct? Please, if you know, can you tell me? Because otherwise I'm doing the complete wrong colors. Yeah, I don't know. Or am I supposed to leave it the way that I originally had it and read the symbols this way? Those of you who do Mirabilias, please tell me, because I have no idea. I have no clue. Anyway, so that's my first plan for this weekend. Okay, so that's one. The other thing that I would like to do, here's all the colors, by the way. I promise they're not tangled. They're beautiful colors. I love them. Anyways, I promise they're not tangled. Okay, so that's one. The second plan for this weekend is when I can't stitch anymore because of daylight, I'm going to be working on either the sweater. I would like to work on the sweater because I'd like to get as much as I can get done of one sleeve. I may at some point decide to work on the socks if we're like really in the dark, or we're watching a movie or something, because with the sweater I do have to pay attention to make sure I'm twisting the cables properly and doing the increases on the proper rows. So if I'm watching a movie or something, then I'll just knit on the socks because I don't have to look. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do there. The other thing I'm going to work on, two things. One is Saga. So my long dog sampler, this is what I had done. The colors, I don't know, the colors are coming out weird. I hope that's showing up properly. Anyways, that's what I had done on my trip. Oh, I left a needle in there. That's what I had done on my trip. I had worked on basically all of the color, like all the insides from here over. And I do have the silk with me. So that is the silk here. Oh shoot, came off. It is called Mood. Look at that. It's beautiful. By Silks For You. So I keep putting it on this ring, right? And doing it kind of like you do floss on a floss strap. It keeps coming out. Probably because I don't do it that tight. Anyways, so that's the silk. So I do have it with me just because I want to keep it together with the project. But what I'm going to work on is the structure. So all the structure around and see if I can catch up. I have a cone of it. I don't know, I bought it from China or something, but it's great. I have no issues with it whatsoever. It's stitching up fantastic. It is very much like DMC. Anyway, so that's my second plan for this weekend in terms of stitching. So the Mirabilia, this, and one more plan going forward is what I'm going to do is copy some other people. So a bunch of people on Flosstube I've seen have been doing this, you know, 1 thread a day, 2 threads a day type of thing. Stitching Mommy does it. Oh, Alara, are you doing it? I don't remember. But anyways, a bunch of Flosstubers are doing it. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this, is I'm just going to do 2 threads a day. I'll do 2 threads a day until this is complete, and try to get it finished. Hopefully by the end of June, but we'll see. And then once I'm done with this one, then I'll do 2 threads a day on something different. I'll probably pick, you know, another, I'll probably pick another project that has the least amount of stitches. Well, 2 things. Maybe I'll get you guys to vote on it as well. So I was thinking about 2 things. One is, do I pick a project that has the least amount of stitches on it? Or do I pick my oldest project and work on it? So according to Notion and my spreadsheet, my oldest project is Fall Fairy from Dimensions, which I find very odd because Notion also says that the next oldest project is Indian Peacock, also from Dimensions, which I could have sworn that the Indian Peacock was older. But anyways, I put my start dates, so Fall Fairy would be next. Let me show you a picture of what that's going to be what that is going to look like. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've seen it. So this is what Fall Fairy will look like. It's a beautiful piece. So that's my oldest piece. So I guess my question for you, you guys can vote. Do I work on my oldest project? And let's say you guys can vote on either Fall Fairy or Indian Peacock. Indian Peacock from Dimensions. Okay, and that's what Indian Peacock looks like. So you guys pick. So you have two decisions to make. One is, do I pick my oldest projects to work on 2 threads a day until it's complete, which would be, and if you, okay, or I pick the project that has the least amount of stitches left to complete and work on that 2 threads a day until it's complete. If you choose, if you think I should do the oldest project, then you have to choose between Indian Peacock and Fall Fairy. Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully that made sense. Anyways, yeah, I would like to do that. So two threads a day. Honestly, I don't know if I can do that. I've never been someone who can switch projects. When I sit with a project, I like to get as many stitches as possible. So I only do that one project for that one day. I have done multiple projects in one day, usually when I'm trying to meet a deadline, and I'll get my whatever the minimum requirement was for the first one and then move on to the second one. But I don't like doing that. I like giving doing one stitch session per day. So I don't know. So we'll try. I am going to try it though, because 2 threads isn't very much. So what's that? Maybe half an hour? I don't know. I'll actually count it and figure that out. If I don't like that, then what I would do is do 2 threads a day times 7 days. It's 14 threads, and do 14 threads in one sitting. I'd rather not do that. I think I would rather, because that's a lot. 14 threads? I don't know how many stitches that would be. But anyways, it would be a lot. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing these things out there. Okay, next thing that I want to show you is something completely different that I thought I would try, which is punch needle. And so I bought this little kit. I did show it. And so I've done a terrible job. But basically the pattern is drawn on the fabric, and then actually the side that the pattern is drawn on is the wrong side. But this is the side that you work from. And then the back side is actually what the final thing looks like. So I didn't do a very good job with that, but I was just trying to figure it out. I think it takes some getting used to, like, how far you pull the thing out. Like, you're supposed to not pull it out, like basically pull out the punch needle until it just barely leaves the fabric. So this is what the punch needle looks like. It's got a you can see it's got a hole there. So the thread, you put the thread through the hole, it comes out the back side, and then you punch back and forth. And it takes some getting used to in terms of like how far you pull it out, how far you push it in. If you pull it out too far, then you actually end up pulling out the previous stitch. And just doing it evenly, and how far you do the next punch from the previous one. And it's weird because you're punching through the fabric, not through the holes, right? Which you do for cross stitch. So it's a little bit something different. I thought I would try out. I don't know when that's going to get completed, but that's okay. This is not a race. I just want to work on it, and it's using some fun floss. Okay, so those are the plans for this weekend. The 2 threads a day will keep going past this weekend. And then for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have Monopoly. So I'll have Monopoly stitching to do, and I'll have my weekly stitches to do on my regular focus projects, right? Sunset in Venice, Home Sweet Home, Colosseum, Pompeian Lady, Jelly World. I have to catch up with Jelly World because I only did 300 stitches this week, when I needed to do about 900. Anyway, so I'll work on those. I don't know if I'm going to get any additional time. If I do, then I'm going to start the Witch Sister cell, which reminds me, we also need to pick a new start. And I probably shouldn't pick a new start considering I didn't start my old one, but who cares? By the way, I always reserve the right to change my mind, right? So if I may decide not to start Witch Sister Cell just yet, or I may decide not to start this one and start something completely different. It all depends on what I feel like. So let's see. Don't feed the plants. Okay, so that is an Ingleside Imaginarium piece. I don't know if I really like that piece, but I don't know if I want to start another non-full coverage right now. That's my struggle with Witch Sister Cell too, is I want to do it, but I don't know if I have quite a few non-full coverage and they're just not my passion, right? My passion is full coverage, and so I don't pick them up as much. What I really want to start. So sorry, in terms of non-full coverage, I want to work on Saga. I love it. I love working on this project, and I want to work on the Mirabilia. I think I want to focus on those two pieces for now. Yeah, it's decided. So I'm not going to start either of these two. They're going to stay on the wheel. What I want to start is Catching Rays. Yes, Catching Rays, which has 1,080,000 stitches. It's probably a piece that I will never finish in my lifetime. That's okay. It's just stunning. And I think with that one, what I want to do is go top to bottom from the left side all the way to the right side. And the reason I'm thinking of doing it that way is because I can stop at any point, right? I don't have to finish the whole thing. So if at some point I decide, you know what, I'm just done working with this, then I can stop it wherever it is, and whatever part of the image is showing is what it will be. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we've gone an hour. I apologize. I was hoping that this would be shorter, but it is what it is. I will let you go. Next, don't forget, is Monopoly. So stay tuned. If you're into Monopoly, stay tuned. Watch what happens there. Watch what we pick, what we roll, what we pick to also get done for the next couple of weeks. And I will be back hopefully in about a week to a week and a half. We'll see. The timing is going to really depend. And I think what I'm going to do for the retreat is I'm going to do a separate video just for that. I'm super excited about the vendors that we have. We have some amazing vendors, so stay tuned for that video, and check it out. And if you haven't signed up yet, then what are you waiting for? The website is down below. You can register from there. You've got a couple of different options of how to register and how to pay, so choose whatever makes sense for you. It's August 22nd to the 24th. But anyways, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are healthy, happy, safe, and you're enjoying your stitching and you're enjoying time with your loved ones if that's what you want to do. And until the next time, be kind.